Hey guys, Brett here. Just going to be doing a little Mara guide. This one we're looking at purely doing the princess. We're basically just doing her as quickly as we can and then leaving and using that 30 or 40 minutes to do either other things with other characters or just to do some things in real life around the house. Um, so I am a deep fire spec for this. I think it's probably one of the better specs to use once you get a handle of it. My gear isn't the best in terms of fire. Like I've only got 193 firepower. Um, Kind of rocking some blues, some tier one, some tier two, bit of a mix of everything really. I'm going to show two runs. I'm going to show one run with barrels. I'm going to show one run without barrels, just to show kind of the different ways you do the fight depending on what you have. But as you can see, kind of like probably mid-range gear at this point. Um, I've been doing this for a while without disc gear. It just means I don't really have to use, if I need to use like a superior healing potion, or if I need to use like more mana gems or like evocating during the fight, I'll only just evocate after the fight just to get my mana up. Main thing for this is though mage armor. Just looking at that regen. I'll show you my spec quickly. So just a little bit of arcane with meditation, fire, pretty much everything all the way down to combustion. Now, the reason we're doing this is for this dagger here. So, chance on landing damaging spell to deal 100 shadow damage and restore 100 mana to you. Now, that ability is not capped by spell, it's capped by how many enemies you're hitting. So, for example, this pack, every time I arcane explosion, I have a four more chances to proc that. So, one arcane explosion could actually net me like 400 mana if I got lucky. So as you can see, you pump that up to 10, you pump that up to 20, you're starting to get almost unlimited mana, which is a very good thing when it comes to Zolgarub coming out soon. When you're fighting elites, which have a lot more health, you need a lot more mana, and when you have infinite mana, you just blast through them still. Now, if I did pull mobs, I would jump up here, and I would reset them there. But because I didn't, I'm going to stand here. Now I'm doing a non-barrel pull, so I'm going to pop my combustion because the opener is basically the only time you get to really sit there and free cast. We're going to start with a pyroblast. We're going to go into a fireball, followed by a scorch, followed by a fireblast, and hopefully hit something. Or we crit something. There we go. We got a crit on the fireball. So we're going to run away. We got 5 stacks of this. I'm going to wait for the boulder. I'm going to blink the boulder. Scorch into a fire blast. Ideally, it's a shame I didn't get a crit on the Scorch, but we still got 7. So I'm going to blink the next boulder again, then I will Scorch into another Fire Blast, and hopefully I'll have a 70% chance to crit with both. Since you're basically casting them at the same time, they both get the benefit from that. So there you go. So a nice bit of damage there. Also got a lot of mana back from getting the crits. That's the really good thing with this build, is the Master of Elements gives you mana back from critting. So combustion's very good. Now the rest of the fight is basically just blinking the boulders and fire blasting on cooldown. So the reason I blink boulders is I don't use mana shield and I don't have ice barrier. So you do have a limited health pool unless you start using links to bandage and stuff like that. I'm going to lose my Scorch debuff because I thought I was going to be able to outrange that and cast on her, but I didn't, so we'll have to build that back up. Losing that actually is a pretty big setback in terms of how much damage you can deal, but she doesn't seem to want to cast very many boulders. There we go. So we're going to do this. We're going to Scorch. Now, if you are at the kind of more the max end of her range, you can kind of stop and a little bit of leeway will come in and you can kind of almost cause her to sit there and cast but not actually cast boulder. It's a little bit tricky. But normally if like in this position, if she casts boulder, I'll have to blink. I can't do the little leeway trick. But if I was a little bit further away, I could do it. So I'll do it here. And then we'll do let's do a couple Scorches, because she is now at the point of under 20%, or it's a little bit above 20%, where she starts to run slower. So she now can't really catch me. So if you do get low, you can blink ahead, you can bandage, you can blink ahead, you can evocate. couple different things you can do. I don't really have to worry about that. I haven't even used my mana gem. This build is very powerful in terms of mana regeneration if you get some good crits. So, having something like the mana gem still available is a very good sign of how powerful this build is. So we got, we didn't get the dagger, but we did get a really expensive gold item, which is good. So we're going to do a quick reset, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you how you do that same fight with a Barov or the Grimoire of Onyxia, which spawns the single skeleton who's a little bit tankier, who actually probably makes it a little bit easier overall. But I'll be back in 1 second after a little bit of magical editing. Okay, and we're back. Let's just get a stopwatch up because I forgot to do that last time. Now, this one we're going to use a Barov. We're going to keep the crit trinket because crit with fire is very, very good. Now, if you don't have other accounts or other characters, or you don't have anything else to do, and you don't want to wait the half an hour on a reset, what you can do is you can spec more of a deep frost where you take an ice barrier and you go down to something like improved scorch in fire, which you can use to kind of farm things like DMS and things like that. That way you can kill some of these rock elementals. Like you can kill this pack here, you kill around there, you can move on up and then go down this direction. There's another few packs which you can kill down there, and there's another few packs on the way which you can kill. Now these drop elemental earth, which is very good for elemental sharpening stones, and also nature resistance potions going into AQ. So they're all going to go up in price. There's very few places in the world where you can farm them as well, so they're kind of going to be always at a bit of a premium in terms of how much they cost. The reason I don't really recommend doing it, is if you want the dagger, then and you have nothing else you can do, sure, do that and get the dagger. Do both at the same time. Ideally, though, you just purely smash out the dagger, do something else, and then when you want to make some gold, you just do some either the 170 plus pull Marab farms. You do your Scarlet Monastery, Hathan Armory pulls. You can even do the really easy Stockade pulls, even they go for about 3 gold now. It's just very quick, easy cash. There's all ways for a mage to make money. ZF, all that sort of stuff. So I'd probably only kill the elementals if you have nothing else to do. But it's always personal choice. I prefer to just skip them and come right to Princess. So this one with the Barov, it's basically the same thing. We're going to open up the same way. The only difference is I'm not going to pop combustion at the start. What we're going to do is we're going to open up, try to smash her, hopefully get some lucky crits. We'll take her around to the left-hand side. We'll pop our Barovs. Hopefully that procs Dustfield. She's really finicky when it comes to Barovs. I think the Grimoire's a little bit better in terms of aggroing her. So hopefully she procs a Dustfield, and then you pop Combustion, and then you tee off on her. That's typically the game plan, and then hopefully get some really good damage. And you can only get in, about 3 fireballs. So we'll just do this. No crits, a little bit of a shame. I'll get that Ignite ticking, but that's okay. We're going to pop Barrows while she's right on top of this. Hopefully she pops Dustfield on them. No, come on. Dustfield. There we go, Dustfield. And now we got Combustion up. We're going to throw some fireballs. Hopefully we get some crits. Doesn't look like it. We got on. Okay. So we're up to a 6 stack. So what we'll do is we're just going to keep going like normal. So sometimes you can get it down to 50% with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to blink. This Scorch should crit along with this Fire Blast. Nice little bit of Ignite damage. We'll run away again. So if you're at the very edge of her range, as you saw, I didn't take the boulder. Just because you can kind of leash it / leeway it. It's a little bit funky. We're going to blink the boulder again. We're going to do another Scorch into a Fire Blast. We can pop our Mana Gem. We probably don't really need to, but just in case, we stop here and we bug out the boulder. So you can kind of, it's really finicky. Even I can't do it a lot of the time. It takes getting used to. So we're going to hopefully wait for a boulder. If not, we'll blink it. I don't want to cop a Thrash because a Thrash at this point would probably one-shot me. I'm a little bit low on the health in terms of against a Thrash. Thrash is gnarly. And we're almost at the point where she's a little bit slower than us. So we're just going to keep going around, just do these jump spins. So the best way to do it is turn your camera, jump, right-click, and that'll do that. and then you basically just spin back in the air again. And you can keep running, you don't lose any momentum, and you can keep your distance. So turn, jump, right click, spin back, and you're good. All within one jump, and you don't lose any time. The funny thing is, once she starts walking slow, it's actually a little bit trickier to get your fire blast off, because normally she's only catching you. So we're just going to kill her right here. And goodbye. So as you can see, 2 ways of doing it. Both are, easily doable. So we'll take this, we'll take that, and as you can see, fair bit of mana. So if you can pick up a Barov, or you can pick up the Grimoire, or if you have both, you can cycle them. You do Barov one time, Grimoire another time. It does make it a little bit easier, but the first run was fine. I didn't have any hassles with it. It's mostly just practice. So it's probably about 4 minutes 30 for the entire run. So it's very quick. You'll get capped very quickly. I use my ult to reset it, so I'll log off, wait a couple minutes, and then I'll pass later across. You could probably ask one of my guildies to help reset me if I needed. But yeah, the grind continues. Hopefully you learn a couple tricks with that. And good luck getting your daggers.